morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Scott Seagraves. I will serve as today's Master of Ceremony on behalf of our host, Lieutenant General William B. Caldwell IV. Welcome to the GMC Prep School's Patriot Day ceremony. This day marks the 14th anniversary of the day our nation was attacked by terrorists that resulted in the loss of over 3,000 American lives in the states of New York, Pennsylvania, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. At this time, Lieutenant General Caldwell will address the formation.
Good morning, everybody, and to all the parents and family members that are here today, thank you for coming out and joining us. As you all know, here at Georgia Military College, we believe there are two critically important components of what we do. One is to give you a superb education. And to give you that education, we develop your intellect. You've heard that many times, but it's critical that we do. But the second and equally important component that we stress is the elevation of your character. Your participation today in this ceremony, a ceremony where you've taken the time to reflect on what patriotism means to each of you. We've been asked by your faculty, your teachers, to go home and write Patriotism, a personal reflection. Many of you were not even born before 9/11. You're not even aware of what occurred that day except by reading it through papers or seeing it on images that are still portrayed on TV. But each of you took the time to reflect on patriotism. For me, patriotism is about a willingness to serve something greater than yourself. It's about a willingness to serve and believe in values. It's a willingness to believe and have a belief in something greater than who you are. Every day at Georgia Military College, you recite three words like you just did. You recite the words to live by of duty, honor, and country. These are Georgia Military College's core values. It's what we stand for and we represent. It is reflected in each and every one of you. Duty, where we seek to instill in each of you a personal responsibility to take responsibility for your own actions. Honor, we seek to instill in each of you personal integrity, the belief that you understand that you have to keep your word and fulfill your obligations. And then country. We work every day to strengthen your love for this great nation of ours, and we strive to instill in you a belief that each of us have a responsibility to our communities. Being a part of this ceremony today is a part of that. We are blessed to live in an incredible nation, and today we will remember the sacrifices of others that have given their all. There are over 9,000 names that each of you will participate in writing on those bricks. 9,000 men, women, and some children who gave their all. And with each of them, there was a family that was profoundly impacted. That today they mourn their loss still, deeply felt, but understanding that this is a free nation. And in being free, we have enormous responsibilities. I cannot be more proud of each of you for being a part of this ceremony today, to helping us here in America reflect on just what it means about the three words that each of you live by: duty, honor, and country. Thank you.
Major Amanda Mercer and Major Brent Gable will now read the winning essays from our Patriot Day essay contest. Entitled Patriotism, a Personal Reflection, the winning essay in the high school was written by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Callie McMullen, and the winning essay in the middle school was written by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Cosbridge. This time, Major Mercer and Major Gable will come forward.
Good morning. It is an honor to read Callie McMullen's essay to you this morning. As her former English teacher, I'm very proud of the emotion and the enthusiasm with which she has imbued her words, and I'm going to share those with you now. Patriot. What is the worth of a country without its people? What is the worth of a body of people that convene for no common purpose? These are the questions that traverse my mind as I steadily walk towards that tombstone, my Korean War veteran's tombstone, the resting place of my devout grandfather. My grandfather, the product of our nation's passionate and powerful military, a man who utilized the opportunity to strive for our country, not out of selfish ambition, but for his adoration for the land that we stand upon, and his endearment for the people whom all members of a national fraternity bound together by one ideal, patriotism. Millions of men and women make the decision to give up their lives for a higher purpose beyond themselves so that we, as a country, may live in comfort. These men and women, just like my grandfather, accepted their obligation to military service and to relinquish themselves for the continuation of the dream that we civilians live. Even though many of us may understand the reality of our service members, we must realize that as American civilians, we too have an obligation. We are charged with the responsibility of upholding true patriotism, an idea that travels well beyond hosting barbecues in July and waving flags at a motorcade, an ideal that glides past fireworks shows at the lake and missing a day of school or work to celebrate. True patriotism accomplishes her goal when we, the people of this nation, realize her worth, when we notice her as an opportunity to appreciate and incorporate a national civic mindedness into our lives for the purpose of expressing a desire to nurture our country and our brothers and sisters. True patriotism accomplishes her goal when we, the keepers of our nation, remain passionate with her, when we utilize her as a reason to become zealous and prideful of the values that we stand and fight for together as a harmonious symphony. True patriotism accomplishes her goal when we, the future of our nation, recognize her for who she really is, when we surpass superficial comprehensions of what it means to hold a nationalistic view so that we celebrate, not for the enjoyment of the moment, but for the remembrance of our past, so that we may appreciate who and where we are today. All of us, whether we are members of the military or whether we are civilian citizens, are entrusted with a responsibility, the responsibility of having an appreciation for our country. All of us, regardless of faith and regardless of political party, are allocated a common purpose, the purpose of bettering society by engaging in pursuits of national philanthropy. We are secured together not by land or geographical location, but by our shared love and devotion to one another. It is our duty to carry our attitudes and actions in a way that express true patriotism. It is our honor to be American patriots.
Good morning. It is my pleasure also to read one of my current students, Jacob Kalsrich's essay. Patriotism has been in America since the beginning. It is the driving force that has led America to win wars. Americans define patriotism differently. For some people, it only goes as far as lighting off fireworks and grilling juicy hamburgers on the 4th of July. Patriotism means more to me since my dad was in the military. For me, patriotism means sacrifice, hope, and standing up for what you believe in. I feel sacrifice is the main component in patriotism. Since my dad was in the military, I had to sacrifice him going to my sporting events, being home on my birthday, and kissing me goodnight while he was deployed. There's also the moving aspect of the military. Moving in the military isn't a simple move into a different neighborhood. Moving usually entailed locating to a different state. The physical aspect of moving wasn't the difficult part. It is moving to a new place while hoping to make friends and gaining acceptance, but also knowing all too well that in a year or two, you would be leaving again and sacrificing your new friendships. I think patriotism also means having hope. When my dad was deployed, I could only hope and pray that he did not get hurt. Since anything can happen in war, I hoped he would come home safe, alive, and in one piece. During my various moves, I hoped that I could fit in with the culture of my new school and make new friends like the place I had just left. I also hope that we do not get attacked on American soil again. I was born a month after 9/11 happened, and I've seen enough documentaries to know what happened on that day. I know it was horrible, and thousands of people died. The terrible attack also started the global war on terrorism. Hope is the only feeling that can stay with you through the most challenging times. Finally, I think patriotism requires a person to stand up for what they believe in. I can speak about what I believe in and not get in trouble. Not everyone has to think that ice cream is a great way to celebrate earning a new job. Diversity is what helps us make up America, and the Constitution guarantees that Americans can have their own thoughts on issues and how the government is run. Everyone is allowed to be different and have his or her thoughts. They are allowed to vote for whom they want to in office, and they can write to their congressman on issues they feel are important. America is a very diverse country, and it is the diversity that helps create a better country. Different people show patriotism differently. Sacrifice is a major part in patriotism, whether it is big or small. Hope can always be present even when times are difficult. Standing up for what you believe in is important, for it betters the country. Patriotism is the driving spirit of America.
At this time, Lieutenant General Caldwell, accompanied by Cadet Alex French, Cadet Alexis French, and Cadet Caroline Wood, will lay a wreath at our campus flagpole in memory of those who perished on 9/11 and the ensuing war on terror. Cadets Alex and Alexis French are laying this wreath in memory of their father, Staff Sergeant Alex French IV, who was killed in action September the 30th, 2009, while a member of the 1st Battalion, 121st Infantry Regiment. Cadet Caroline Wood is laying the wreath in memory of her father, Sergeant Roy A. Wood. Sergeant Wood was killed in action on January the 9th, 2004, while serving as a medical sergeant assigned to Operational Detachment A-2092, Company C, 3rd Battalion of the 20th Special Forces Group. This morning, the GMC family is honored to have with us Cadet Wood's mother, Mrs. Anna Wood, and Cadet French's mother, Mrs. Shanika French.